So behind the scenes of Mindstar Books, we are representing our data in a graph database. So this differs from a traditional database in that what we're doing is modeling the entities and the relationships between the entities. So that'll let us do things later on, like search for complicated relationships between our data that we weren't expecting to see a little bit more easily. So we can mine through our data and step very quickly through the interrelations. So what I was going to do is show you a quick look through the kinds of things that we represent currently and the kinds of things that we can see from this data. So very quickly, Neo4j's graph database. So we can query for users. Which gives us a few nodes of users with particular names. That user in particular is a randomly assigned user ID. This was Pam. I was signing in from Pam's computer. And we can pick out a specific user. And that'll give you me. If I actually open that up, I can see a session information. So this is one session logged into Mindstar Books. If I expand on that, I see the previous session. If I expand on that, I actually see a few words. So this is the word that's, and the relationship between the session and the word is that there was an error when I read that word. The word after I got correct. You can see several other words there as well. So currently what we're doing is representing a series of sessions as a linked list that goes backwards in time, so you can see more and more data over time. If you expand on the words, you get other sessions from perhaps other users in other contexts. And it gets very quickly kind of hard to see. So what we can do is do a few queries on this information, give us a better sense of the kinds of things that we can see. So one of the things we might be interested in is how many times a user is logging in. So this query lets us see a list of the users and how many times they've logged in. So since we're in development, it's not surprising that I've logged in the most. Second is Pam, one of our internal book authors. And that all comes from this fairly simple graphical style query. One of the other things we might be interested in is words that have the highest error count in the system overall. So that might show us something like the speech recognizer is maybe not so accurate at these words. So a word like Anne, it's surprising that's in there. It's a fairly simple word. And insects. So we don't have a lot of data in the system yet. Not a lot of information is tracked, and there's very little, if any, student or child data. So what you're seeing here is just test data. Another thing that we might want to see is the last 5 sessions, let's say, for myself. So this shows, there you go. This is the last 5 times I've logged in. And as we saw before, the second one has the list of words that I got correct and incorrect. This only works for oral reading fluency at the moment. I might also want to know for a particular user what my error frequency is, or what are the words that I missed the most. Here you can see a top list of the top 32 words that I miss frequently. Now, if I have a population of students, perhaps these 3, EWB Eric and EWB Pam, this query would show me the error percentage for that population. So this might represent a classroom of students. And it shows me that this population always misses the word that's and right, An animal is 3. These are the words we're having difficulty with. Now, if we were to relate a word to its components, like its spelling or the phonemes behind it, we might be able to get a better insight into what kinds of concepts the reader is struggling with. Which is what we saw right there. And what about in the last 14 days? All the errors for one particular user in the last 14 days. So these are 2 sessions that have errors in the last 14 days, and there's the user. You can see here, that's my name. And there's the 2 sessions where I had errors. So that's a quick overview of the graph database and how the data is related. Again, also just to leave you with a fun display, show you a random set of 200 errors or so. The pink nodes are sessions, a user logged in to read a book, and the blue nodes are words, either read correctly or incorrectly. And that's the database behind my Books.